In the old days, you had the H-pad gearbox, you had to nurse the equipment, you had severe overheating, you couldn't really last the distance on your brakes, you had to change midway through the race if you were unlucky. And nowadays, you just give it hell every lap.
The cars are so reliable that basically it's a string of 24-hour sprint races. You run approximately an hour on a tank of gas, you fill up, you get new tires, you go out, and you drive those stints, those tanks of gas, as hard as you possibly can go. So it's 24 little miniature sprint races.
And we make our time, like I said before, through the traffic, not through saving the equipment.
Technology has allowed us to push almost a sprint race pace for 24 hours. The cars have evolved, the gearboxes are stronger, the tires are better, so we really do push that maximum attack level, but knowing the first corner is not going to make the difference in a 24-hour race.
Make sure your car is going to get at the end of the race, and the race is very long, so sometimes you take a little bit more care of the car than you would do in Formula One.
You have to make sure you don't overdrive the car. You don't go over the limit. You just want to go to the limit and keep the grip of the tire. Don't overheat the tires. If you overheat them, they break down and they don't last long.
There are plenty of people with speed, but that's only 1/5 of the equation. You really have to hone that other part of it, and a lot of that comes down to being safe and understanding how to get through a race without wrecking your equipment.
You have to be patient. I think patience is something that you don't really think about when you're driving a race car, but when you're patient, you have to evaluate the circumstance on whether you want to gamble, whether you're going to make the pass or not make the pass.
What changes is your outlook on letting somebody go past. If there's a competitor that's behind you that's causing issues for you, if you find yourself trying to have to work too hard to try to keep a guy behind you, if you're only an hour or 2 hours into a 24-hour race, what's the point in racing him now? Because he may have a problem in 30 minutes and then he's gone, and it's not worth fighting him that hard.
You need to leave a little bit of your bandwidth open for recording and learning. It can't just be 100% on a flat-out blitz every single lap, because there's gotta be learning constantly going on. As a track evolves, as it gets wetter, as it gets greasier, as it gets stickier, as a cloud comes over, these things evolve, and you need to have awareness, self-awareness, car awareness, track awareness of what's going on and how to evolve that car.
In the 24-hour races, you can get into a situation where maybe the conditions don't suit the car very well, and you have to wait a little bit for a specific tire to work or something. So then you would just kind of relax a little bit and make sure you make it to the next stop, and then you can make a change.
Sometimes you'll have to make a little bit of fuel, or save a bit of fuel to try to make the stint last a bit longer, to try to do that extra lap at the end of the stint. So you try to lift early and try to coast a bit. And also tyre conservation as well. You might be doing a double stint on the tyre or a triple stint on the tyre. There's a lot of grip available when you first put them on, so you can't take the grip out of them straight away. Otherwise, after about one stint, the tyre will be dead.
How you drive changes depending on at what point in the race you are and your situation. If you're 2 laps down, you'll drive a little bit harder than if you were in second or third place. If you're just kind of cruising around a little bit. And when I say cruising, I don't mean that you're not driving quickly. You're always pushing hard, but you're making smart decisions.